Hey everybody, welcome to live paint night online. Hi Eric, thank you for tuning in with me. Let me know as you tune in the comments if you're painting along with me and if you have any questions about the materials before we get started. Today we are painting this peacock. Very easy painting actually. I haven't done it in quite a while though, so I hope I remember the instruction on it. Just walk you through it step by step. All skill levels are fine. And I'll just go over the materials that I'm using. They're also in the description. So if you're watching later, totally fine. So I'm just using Craft Smart paint. You can use any acrylic paint whatsoever that you have for this specific acrylic painting, or you can also do it in watercolor, oil, crayon, anything else you want. I have a 16 by 20 canvas, and the colors that I'm using are actually yellow, blue, red, white, and black. I know it seems like there would be green in here, but the green just comes from the yellow and the blue. You totally can use green though, especially if you don't have yellow or if you just want to. All of the paint nights that I do you can modify them to your own liking as much as you want. You can have a purple peacock if you want. So, hey El Spicy, hey Veronica, hey Prophetess. So let me know down in the comments, please, if you are painting along. And we're gonna go ahead and get started. Also, don't forget to thumbs up. And then also, please, if you enjoy this tutorial, consider doing a super chat or super sticker donation or a PayPal donation. Link is also in the description for that. Hey Morgan, hey Creative Rainbow, hey Randy, hey Pamela, hey Sharon, hey Clara. Glad you guys are all able to tune in. Okay, so the brushes that I'm using are a 1-inch foam brush. I like using this for my backgrounds. It's really easy to blend with. And then I have a medium flat brush. This one's a 1/2 inch, but you can use a 1/4 inch, a 1/3 inch, a 1/2 inch, whatever. And then just a little detail brush. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get started. We do the background first, of course, and then the peacock head last. This is meant to be semi-abstract. Of course, that's not necessarily how peacock feathers actually look in real life. Oh my God, Clara, you are amazing. I love you so much. Okay, so I'm starting with the foam brush, and I'm actually starting with yellow. And I'm gonna go ahead and just start to kind of outline the shape of feathers. Completely ignore the fact that there's going to be a head here. Don't even worry about it. Just go with an almond shape is what we're going for. And we're doing this as sloppy as possible. Do not try to be all neat and pretty and perfect. Go super sloppy. And I end up usually, so I do those 3 in the middle and then a couple over here on the side. And then we'll get a couple in down here. Just super sloppy. We're going to be filling all this space in. So have crazy wild lines. And the whole point of this, you guys, is just have fun. So please, please, please relax as you do this. Don't stress out. You're not going to be Picasso by the time it's done, but you're going to have a super fun painting. Okay. Okay, Tara Parsons says she's painting along too. That's awesome. Yep, Clara is part of the ATD fam. And I think, is Erica on here also painting from ATD? I started already, but only like the first barely step here. Thank you so much, Tara. All right, so for anyone that's just tuning in, because I know I tend to kind of get started fast because I get excited. I'll just back it up real quick for just a second. So I'm using a 1-inch foam brush, a medium flat brush, and then just a little detail brush. I'm just using Craft Smart paint, and I have yellow, blue, red, white, and black. We're starting with the background with the foam brush. So this is, we're just going real sloppy. Closet Gamer, I'm going to go ahead and send an email about that in just a day or two, but don't really have time to get into that right this exact second, but I will be shooting you out an email covering everything. Okay, so we've got our yellow. We want to do this kind of fast because we want the colors to blend. So next I'm going in with some blue, and that's kind of overlapping some of those, and also just, it's going to give me some green. And you want to start filling it in on the inside even more. So kind of close that gap up a little bit. We'll go over here. Don't worry about any of these spaces. We can handle those at the end if needed. And I've done this before where it ended up more green or more blue. Just kind of depends on what you want. Just go real sloppy and have fun with it. And yeah, guys, feel free to talk in the chat box amongst yourselves if you're not painting. And if you are painting, let me know. And you can always let me know if you need me to slow down or if you need something explained a little better. It's not super easy watching the chat box as I paint, but I'm going to do my best. Okay. So I got some blue in there. This background, like I said, is really abstract. So there's not really any rules. We're gonna keep doing this with several of the colors until we've got it pretty well filled in. So at this point, I'm gonna go in here with a little bit of white, and that's gonna give me a different color, different blue there. And I'm just filling it more and more in. You can go on the insides and the outsides of your almond shapes. I like to end up covering up most of the yellow personally, but that's just me. This is just paint straight from the bottle, and I'm not washing my brush in between or anything because we're just blending these colors. We don't want to wash. We want them to blend, and no water. I also just never use water with my foam brush. So just remember, keep going real sloppy. You can see that it's starting to get really filled in. But this is not any precise exact lines. It's just going real sloppy. And if you do have green, I'm not using green today personally, but if you do have green, you can go ahead and add it in at this step as well as you're filling it in. The important thing is to maintain the almond shapes as you're going, but that's about it. Everything else is just kind of a free-for-all. Yeah, sloppy. I can do that. Okay, good. So I'm going to do a little bit more on here, and then I'm going to just stop for a bit because I know some people probably aren't as fast. I just want to keep going while it's still wet so that my colors blend. So at this stage, it's up to you what color you want to go in with next. I'm going to do some more blue. I want this to be really blue. So I'm going to fill in some more with blue on my empty spaces here. Because that white kind of took out quite a bit of it. But like I said, you could do this with yellow or green, or you could do yellow and blue. No rules, no rules. Just make sure that you maintain your almond shapes. But also, even if you don't, we are going to actually go in here with a little black in a minute too, so that can redefine them. So it really doesn't matter. And then even though we are putting the head right here, do try to fill that in, and don't forget down here at the bottom as well. You want to make sure you don't leave any corners down here. Just go ahead and get it all filled in. I think I will go in here with a little bit more yellow. And at this stage, that will pretty much all be green. It's maybe a little too much blue for my liking in there. Okay. Okay, good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. This is a 16 by 20 canvas. Tara asked what size canvas is that. All right, so I'm going to give you guys just a minute to catch up. Stepping back though, I see a few spots that I want to make maybe just a little bit darker. Okay, I think that's good. And I do have a little bit of white over here. I'm not too stressed about it, but you can always just kind of roughly fill it in there too. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all a minute to get caught up. If you're not, please, if you are following along, let me know down in the comments. If you're at the same spot that I'm at, which is basically done with the background, you can say I'm there, or if you need more time, you just say more time, okay? So let me know. Claire is painting along, good. Tara is there. Norma needs more time, and Prophetess needs more time. Okay, good. Yeah, I went pretty fast on that, so no worries. Take your time. Veronica says she's painting along, but not hopeful. You got this. You got this. Hey, Shelly. Glad you made it. And guys, if you're not painting along, definitely make sure you have you go do your thumbs up. And, you know, just feel free to chat amongst yourselves as well. All right, Karen says she's there. DL Tyler needs a little more time. Head's about to explode. Just as a note, you can also, at this stage, you can still adjust the shapes. Like looking at this one's pointing a little more down and this one's a little more sideways. So if I wanted to, I can just go in and kind of change the shape a little bit, even still at this stage. So like this one, maybe I want to point it more down. So we can still work on our background until we put that peacock head in there, then it's all over. Yeah, that's a little better. It was bugging me a little, I guess. Yeah, and if you're there, feel free to take a little break for a minute. Grab a drink, grab bathroom, pizza. Oh my gosh, I need to stop looking at this because the more I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that spot too doesn't quite blend. Okay. All right. So how is everyone doing on this fine Thursday? In case you didn't know what day it was, it's Thursday, you guys. Good, good. And this seems to be a pretty good time for people. I know on the West Coast it's a little bit early, but on the East Coast it's right about the right time. So trying to be a happy medium there. Staying healthy, Jude says. That's awesome. That's exactly what we all need to be doing. Yep. TGIF tomorrow. Although at this stage for me, all the days are exactly the same pretty much. So all right. Tara asked, is school out for the rest of the year there? It is here in Georgia. I think so. I'm pretty sure. My daughter does go to a private school, but they generally keep, they do what the LA school district does. And I'm pretty sure that the LA school district announced that they were going to be out for the rest of the year. Yep. It's midnight in the UK, Fiona says. Oh, that's early. That's like about the time I get started. Just kidding. All right. So I'm going to do a couple more steps on the background for now, and then I am going to actually take a break to let it dry. So still going with my foam brush, I'm going to go with just a little bit of black. Now remember that black, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to use this to kind of help outline my shapes again. And this is kind of going to more finalize them a little bit. And you just need really a little bit. The reason why you're using that same brush is it's gonna kind of blend with the colors you already have on there. So it won't be as like stark black. And you can use as much black if you want. Like if you like a lot of contrast, use as much as you want. Keep the abstract look. So just big sloppy lines. This is such a fun painting. I actually really miss, I used to teach paint nights all the time, like usually like 3 a week. And then my YouTube just got to be a little too much to keep up with all that, so I stopped doing them. I kind of miss them. They are a lot of fun. I'm definitely having fun doing these live ones. Okay, I think that's good on the black. And one more step for this is I'm going to go with my medium flat brush, because we don't want to use that same brush because it's got black on it. I'm going to just take some white and go on the inside a little bit. And just some more definite white lines. Once again, abstract, not definite. Well, I just said definite, but you know, still sloppy. Okay, good. And then I'm gonna back away for 5 minutes. Kitten. Oh, and the kitten is saying hi with the child. Okay. Oh, well, welcome from Austria, Katharina. And hey, Andrew from Sydney. And Karen from Australia. Wow. Welcome from all over the world. Who has been losing sleep recently and having really weird sleep schedules? This guy. Oh, Sierra. What? Never mind. You're fine. I'll do it. Here, come here, kitty. Claire, I didn't see you. Oh, just some people didn't get to see her. You did it too fast. Say hi, right here. Right here. There's such a delay on my screen. I think that's good. Yep, there she is. Oh, cute. Okay. Good kitty. All right, there you go, kitty, kitty. Oh, Shelly, totally understand. Okay, I'm gonna actually, I forgot to grab a cup of water. I keep forgetting that for some reason. I will be right back. I just missed. Well, I just slightly missed by like an inch. That was No. Hello. Good things. It's okay because I need to step away from the painting anyways. Otherwise, I just keep going. I'm gonna just assume that everyone's behaving while I'm gone. Okay. Yeah, but get on there so you can have the channel on there. Okay. All right. Okay, good. So for those of you painting along, please let me know if you are at this stage. You can just say I'm there, or if you're not, say more time. I'm going to still give you another minute or two because I'm waiting for this to dry. But also tonight, my husband has a live at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So it's in like 2.5 hours. So he's going to let you know what his channel is in just a second. He's an awesome musician. Okay, no problem, DL. No problem. We're waiting for them to dry. It looks like most people are there. Norma's there. Okay, so we're gonna wait another minute anyways. Johnny, where are you? Can anyone hear that crow in the background? Okay, come on, dry. Consuming for later. No, I mean like on your computer so that people can go to the link.
I just posted it. It's there in the comments.
In the comments or in the chat box?
On the chat box, I mean, yeah.
Well, I don't see it.
Oh,
No, that wasn't Johnny. Oh, I still have to announce the winner of the Mr. Easter Bunny from last night. I will do that right after this live. I will not forget. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go on to the next step. I think normally I do these next, but since I don't know about you, I still need a little bit of time for it to dry. I think we'll do this guy and then we can do those because they don't overlap. No, because some of yours might overlap. Like this one might actually overlap. Okay, let's just give it another minute. It'll be dry in another minute. Patience, everybody. Mainly myself. Okay. Uh-huh. I'm not going to tell you. It's a secret. What's LMAO stand for? Oh, laughing my ass off. I can't set a timer because I'm recording with my phone, but that's okay. I can see when it's dry or not.
What about the other phone?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Another minute for wine, Norma says. Yep, absolutely. If you're doing the wine and paint thing. I actually do have my heat gun over here, but that's okay. Ooh, Clara is doing hers in alcohol ink. That is an awesome challenge. I really hope that you post a picture on my Facebook page later. Please, please, please. I would love to see that. Fiona, we call it a hair dryer or a blow dryer, either way. All the hair dryers I own are only used for art. So they're all in the garage. But I do have a heat gun out here, so. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next step. I do have a couple that are still a little wet. I'm not gonna stress about it too much. So I've rinsed out my medium flat brush. And I'm gonna go ahead with my red. And just in the middle of the almonds, I'm gonna go ahead and do an oval, a big red oval. I am using craft paint, so it's pretty transparent. So it's not like red. This will look a little different based off of the paint you're using. And I don't know why I necessarily chose red for this because it's not necessarily color accurate, but I like it. It gives it a little pop. But you could also just do like golds and blues and whatever in here as well. So that's a bit purple because the blue in the back is still dry, or still wet, I mean. Okay. Yeah, craft paint, not so good. And once again, just sloppy. We're just going sloppy here. These are not perfect circles. Do not sit there and overthink it. Just sloppy, sloppy circles. Or ovals, rather. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this off again. You heat gunned yours, that's okay. Totally allowed and honestly smart. Becky Pope says, I love this. We raised peacocks. Gonna have to try this. Awesome. Yeah, you can always follow along later. So now I'm taking my blue and I'm gonna go inside that with just another circle. Feel free to heat gun in between if you want or not. Just go fast like I am. Either way. And then lastly, the same thing with some white. Bit smaller circles. My blue is very wet. I'm gonna make it work. I might come back and touch these up later. Okay. But there we go. We got this. All right. Who is ready to start on the actual peacock head? Full disclaimer, I don't know the appropriate words for anything. So I'm going to just say like weird words. Yeah, that probably, if anyone actually has peacocks or really knows peacocks, I worry a little. Just bear with me. I do my best. Okay, good. Giving people another minute. Nope, I am not the Peacock King. Oh, I'm gonna just make Tiger King references for the rest of my life, even though I haven't seen the show at all yet. Giving people a minute. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and grab my heat gun since I'm giving you guys a minute. Let's see. It is right here. Okay. Excuse me, kitty. All right, I'm just gonna do this on high air but low heat. Okay, good enough. It does look like a bunch of eyes at this point. That is accurate. All right, we're gonna go ahead with the peacock body. Oh my gosh, Sherry's Life, I've been singing that for the last week. That song, Slappy Joe, slap, slappy Joe. Oh, I love that song. Okay. So I'm going to go with my flat brush. I rinsed it out again with some blue. And this is where you're going to decide where your peacock is going to go and how big or small it's going to be. So I like the head to be fairly centered. So right here, I'm going to put just a blue circle. Same thing with the tree trunks and everything. Start small. You can make it bigger. You can't make it smaller, at least not easily. So start small. And does not have to be a perfect circle either, but that's the head. So let me know in the chat box, please, once you have your head circle in, because the next part is important. So you have to be paying decent attention, or you will end up with a funky looking peacock. You got your head circle. Good. Done. Good. Okay, still waiting on a few, I think. And it can be adjusted in size. So it's just, this is more like a placement thing. He will probably be funky looking anyways. That's okay. Okay. So the next part, I just want you to pay attention here, is oh, DL Tyler, it's okay. That this line right here, it goes from the side of the circle. So the body is not here. It's not in the middle of the circle. If you do that, your bird will look very weird. Okay. Also, the curve is important. It's a bit of an hourglass look, but you don't want to end up with a really oddly fat peacock. Okay. So same brush, and with just blue, we're going to go from the top of the head here. Top of your circle on the right, unless your peacock's looking the other direction, but that's getting into a whole nother world of confusion. Okay, so top of the circle on the right, you're going to go down, and then it's going to curve to the left, and then back out to the right. Whew. So much pressure. Okay. Let me know down in the chat box once you've done your first line there. It's always like, imagine if I do it wrong and everybody's watching. Okay. So we got a few people done. Okie dokie. Good. Now your second line, yes, this is the tall peacock. Your second line is going to go from the middle here. The middle of the bottom of your head. Not your head, the peacock's head, you know. And don't worry, it's going to be skinny at first. We're going to widen it or make it larger as needed, okay? Hi, Alex. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so we're going to go from here and going to go, it's going to curve in just a little bit. It should actually meet up with that one if you're doing a nice skinny one, and then curve out, okay? This is the skinny funky stage. We're going to adjust it, but we want to make sure that the lines are correct. All right, let you get caught up on that. Be back in 2 seconds. Okay. Good. I'm back. Nobody's going to end up with a turkey. Trust me, there is an ugly stage and then it will all come together. Okay. So now before we do anything, go ahead and just fill this in with blue. Fill this all in, because that will give us a little more of an idea of what we're working with here. He's so skinny. Okay. And now I'm going to just gradually make him a little better. Or better. Well, yeah, better. But bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the head. And make that a little bigger. Keeping this as round as possible. And then I'm going to just keep going with that, making it a little bit bigger, a little bit at a time. Okay? This is the important part of the painting to take your time at. You got to be sloppy with everything else. So on this, take your time. This is the E.T. stage. E.T. phone home. He does look like E.T. So just gradually making this a little bit bigger. draw a cat and it comes out like a donkey. As my daughter says, telefono mi casa. Okay. All right, that's almost there. I'm going to go with just a little bit bigger. I feel like he came out a little too much to the left, so I'm extending it out more to the right, specifically. Okay. Feel like the original might be better. No pressure, you know. That's okay. Just remember, this is the ugly stage. All right. Okay, good. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and bring this to life a little bit. So to start with, we're going to add some lighting and some shade. So going in here, I don't wash my brush, just adding a little white. I'm going to start going in the middle. And that's on the head as well. And down the neck. Just adding some different shades of blue, so it's not just one solid color. You'll see him come to life. Trust me. I don't think I've ever led you guys wrong yet. A little more. Obviously your paint's still wet, so it's going to be pretty blended. Okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and I just wiped my brush off. You can wash it off if you want, but I'm just going to wipe mine off. I'm going to go in here with some black. And I'm going to go down on the chest here and give this some shade. Now this part's kind of important because we're going to start to shape the head a little more here. And at this stage, my bird is looking pretty straight. So if I want him to look down, I'm going to have to kind of think with that. So I'm adding a little black here where kind of the chin would be, I guess. Shadow. Yeah, it's shadow under his neck. And then you can do a little more anywhere else you might want to. I'm going to do some right here because that's where his, if I'm using the right word, the plume, I think, will be. So you can add a little bit there. Trust me, it's the ugly stage. Don't stress about it. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to go back in with yet a little more blue and just go ahead and redefine some of my outside lines here. Okay, that's the base there. All right, for those following along, let me know in the comments if you're at this stage or if you need a little bit more time. The black is kind of just shading. So we're doing it here on the chest. Yeah, it's shadow. And then kind of underneath where his jaw or whatever, underneath where his beak is going to go. And then I put a little bit here on the top of his head as well, which will be underneath the plume. So funky. That's okay. I'll tell you the point it all comes together really is when you add in the beak. That's when it kind of comes together. And that's going to be the next step. Yes. Notice something. Look. This goes out. This goes in. Oh, I'm very observant. Yeah, good job. I know the first one's better. That's okay. I just do my best. Yeah, this, I think on the other one curves, this curves out. It goes out a little bit more. But anyways.
Look. In, out,
You know,
out, in.
I have a peanut gallery here. I'm doing my best.
I know.
You want to take over? She says yes. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the beak. And this is going to be with your little detail brush. So on your plate, just mix some white and black and make a gray. And this, you want like a light gray. Don't make a dark gray, make a light one. And this is where you're going to really determine the direction of where it is looking at. So I like mine to go a little bit downwards, but you can have it go straight out if you want. And this is, I'm going to show you close up. So it's also a bit curved. So it's not just a straight triangle. And it's skinny, but not tiny. So once again, start small. You can make it bigger. You can't make it smaller. So there's my basic outline to start with. And then I'm going to slowly adjust and fill it in. Make it a little bit bigger. And it should be proportionate to your bird. If you have a tiny bird, then do a tinier beak. If you have a bigger bird, do a bigger one. I find when the guys paint this, they tend to make their bird pretty big. I think that's fairly proportionate. Maybe a tiny bit bigger. Okay. My daughter's over here trying to give me instructions. Okay. So I'm going to bring this a little bit close up. Now, I don't know if this is really how it goes in real life, but I know it looks good on a painting. So we're going to kind of blend the beak a little bit into the face and just kind of feather this. Okay. What?
I'm reading.
Okay. Go away.
No.
Go feed the kitties or something.
No, they're already fed.
Okay, well, they need more food. Yeah, my daughter's the director today, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Good. I'm happy with that. Now, with the same brush, I'm going to go ahead and just wipe it off. I'm going to go in here with some black. I'm going to do a little close up as well. So I'm going to go not quite in the center, just a little bit below the center. And this is, you need as much precision as you can. We're going to put a thin black line just below the center. If you do it too big, feel free to go back in with some of the gray. Like this is a little thicker than I wanted over here. I'll go back in with some of the gray. That's okay. Okay, good. And then we're gonna also, because this right now kind of blends in with the background, I'm gonna also put just a little bit of black on the bottom. And then we'll be putting white on the top, but he needs a little nostril, which is just a black dot. All right, I'm gonna hold this here because I know that was several instructions in one. For those following along, please let me know once you are at this stage with the beak. Good night, Elizabeth. I'm going to try to hold this a little more steady. There we go. Yeah, it's starting to come together. Okay. All right, Norma says her beak is done. Prophetess says, my poor peacock. All right, last step on the beak. Go ahead and rinse or wipe off your detail brush. And we're just gonna take a little bit of white and just do a little line along the top. And that's just for some lighting. And really this is just to help it really stand out from the background. So just a thin little line. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just gives it a little more contrast. Adios, amigos. Bye. Adios, amigos. Okay, adios. There we go. Okay. Yeah, don't forget the nostril, you guys. They want to breathe somehow. Okay, that's the last step on the beak. So I'll still give everyone a minute or so to catch up. And then we're going to go on to the eye. The eye of the peacock, not of the tiger. The fun thing with this is even if you are a bit sloppy, and even if your colors blend together and stuff, it still looks great in the end. So it's, I'm sure you can definitely mess it up, but. And I really want to see the pictures of everybody's paintings. Please share them with me. If you post them on my page, that's great. You can post them in the event on Facebook, anywhere you'd like. I'd love to see them. Or if you're too embarrassed, you can send me a private message. Also, for anyone tuning in just now, or if you haven't because you didn't know to, please, if you like this tutorial, consider doing a super chat or a super sticker donation or a PayPal donation. The link for PayPal is down in the description. And I really appreciate it. It really helps me because going through obviously a lot of supplies doing all these paint nights for y'all. Okay, good. Tara says, mine is abstract, but I love it already. Good. Excellent. All right, let's go on to the eyeball. So with your little detail brush, rinse it out or wash it off. And we're going to go with black. And near the center of your circle, but a little bit to the right and a little bit down, you're going to add an almond shape. Once again, start small. You can make it bigger. You cannot make it smaller, really. So just a little black almond shape, like so. Back to a kind of a creepy demon stage. deal. Tyler said, quick question. Using Ready Pour paints on canvas panel, was I wrong to use Ready Pour paints? I mean, there's no right or wrong. But technically it would have been better to just use regular acrylics. Just as a note. But there's no right or wrong. All right. Katerina would love to see your pouring pictures as well. You can post those also on my page or send me them in messages. Okay. Bye, Alex. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for your humor. Okay, so let's finish off with the eye. So I've rinsed out my medium flat brush again, and I'm going in with some white. Now I have no idea what this is called or if it's, you know, accurate, but once again, it looks good on a painting. Let me know in the comments, do you know the meaning of the word stipple? Just say yes or no in the comments, and there's no wrong answer. Let me know. I realize it's a word that maybe not everybody knows, so I just wanted to find it if I need to. Okay, so we have several no's, so that's fine. It's not necessarily a super common word. I'm gonna just show you real quick. So stippling is just a technique where you're kind of shoving your brush down to spread out the bristles. So it would be like this. And you're spreading out your bristles. You're not going just flat. You're more doing a poking. Poke, poke, poke. Okay? Just kind of a tapping technique, I guess. And it's a good way to do leaves and things like that. So hopefully that was clear, but we're going to take a little bit of white on our brush, on our medium flat brush, and we're going to gently stipple around the eye in a, basically like a crescent on the top and then a crescent on the bottom. And it should go around your eye, not into, and that's with just the white. So something, yeah, kind of like sponge painting, that's right. Something like this. Doesn't have to go all the way around, like it can not touch at the sides if you want. Mine is touching, but that was semi-accidental. Over on this one, they're not touching on the sides. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've done this painting, so I hope everyone is giving me a little break. And now it just went over my eyeball. I gotta go back with my black. Get out of there. Okay. Okay, good. Yeah, it's a really good way to do tree leaves. That's exactly right, Sherry's Life. You are on point. Yeah. Okay, and then last step on the eye, really easy one. You take your little detail brush, flip it around, put some white on the back of it, and then right in the middle of your black almond, you're just gonna dot. That's it. If you don't get a great dot, do it again. There we go. And look, his eye is complete. He's looking like a less of a weirdo every second. Oh, this painting is so fun. Veronica said, this is the painting I decided to try. You got this. You got this. No worries. You can always watch later. And you can always do it again. You can do it as many times as you want. It is kind of cool, I think, if you're watching it on your own, because you can actually, you know, pause and go back if you need to. When you're doing it live, it's kind of, you got to do it all at once. And my normal live paint nights take 2 hours. I'm trying to keep them under an for the videos here, the live ones. All right, we have one more step on our peacock, and that is his plume, I think it's called. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I often am. And I'm going to go with my little detail brush again with some black. And not right in the center of his head, but a little bit back. I'm going to do just some black lines. They can be different lengths. Just wispy lines. And these should be about, I'm going to say about 2 to 2.5 inches maybe. Not super long, but also not super short. Either way, nobody can see, so no one's measuring. And then on some of them, does not have to be all of them. I'm going to do this with the back of my brush again. Just do some black dots. Do not try to do this on all of them. I mean, you can if you want, I guess. There's really no rules. And once again, nobody can see you, so do whatever you want. Okay. All right, let's see. Karen says she stipples on teddy bears for her grandchildren. Stipple fur. That's awesome. That's a really good way to do it. I'm going to just show you close up. So once again, not putting too much stress on it. It is a bit abstract, a bit sloppy as well, which fits in with our painting. And that is it for our peacock. The only other thing to do is to sign your painting. I'm going to do that in the lower left-hand corner with my initials. It's no longer my initials, but that's okay. And you can put your full name, the date. And now you have a Mother's Day gift, you guys. Give yourselves a hand. You know what? If you're not totally sure if yours is like, oh, this looks a little too funky, just go ahead and come back to it tomorrow and see what you think then. You may look at it later and be like, oh, that's awesome. And also sometimes if you take a step back, it looks way better than you think it looks. If you're like, if your face is right up here to your painting, it can look a little, you can be a little too critical, I think, of all your lines. But if you take a step back, it looks awesome. I think. That's my own opinion. I can't see any of your paintings, so I'm just assuming that they're all awesome. Okay, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. I am going to try to get some more of these scheduled for y'all. Possibly a vase one coming up. Let me know. You know what? Let's do this. Yeah, DL Tyler, if you grab the Artist Loft regular paint, that would be great. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the Lighthouse next. We can do that. I don't know where I put it. It's in here somewhere. I'm gonna, what in the world? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'll show you real quick. I don't know what day yet, though. I feel like Tuesdays and Thursdays work well. But anyways, this is the Lighthouse. It was also a pretty popular one that people wanted to do. I will tell you the sky blending here does take a little effort. And it also is a really good arm workout, actually. So this is probably the one we're going to do next. But I will, of course, let you guys know a definite later, along with the date and what materials you'll need. And I am so glad that you guys joined me. Andrew Walker says, do you have a Facebook page? Yes, I do. It's Mixed Media Girl on Facebook. If you go on my YouTube page to the About tab, then you'll see all of my social media there. So follow me on Facebook because that's where I post my events, because YouTube doesn't really have an events function. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time. Oh yeah, and don't forget Johnny is on at 7 p.m. So that's in 2 hours, 7 p.m. Pacific. Head over, make sure you give his channel a like if you haven't yet. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll see you all later.